It is 12:19 a.m. on Christmas Eve, 2023. It's kind of been a rough night, and I can't go into the details, but it is what it is. I can't fix it right now. I got something on my mind. I was in a group kind of thing this week, and I heard somebody, and I'm probably translating it through my own filters, so I don't necessarily think they meant it this way at all. I just think it struck a chord in me and made me think. And they said something like, well, you're pretty spiritual, Andrea. You talk about praying all the time. And I think prayer's important, but you could sit around and pray and never do anything. And where's that going to get you? And I really didn't answer. I just stayed quiet because here's what I think about prayer. When I tell you I pray, it doesn't mean that I get on my knees or I fold my hands together and say a bunch of fancy prayers. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not religious at all. In fact, religion turned me off from God for a long time. And I frankly stay away from organized religion so that I can hang on to my God. And when I got sober, when I was 23 years old, I remember before I got sober, I prayed all the time, God, please don't let me wake up tomorrow. I didn't want to live. I didn't want to live at all, and I hated God for letting me live. And I would wake up and cuss him for letting me wake up. And then I got sober, and I went into the 12-step program, and saw this little statement, God as you understood him, or understand him, or her, or whatever. And so for the first time in my life, I felt like I had freedom to explore whatever my concept of God was. And I remember for my first birthday, and I had been doing prayer meditation and studying all kinds of religions and everything. But there was this little book that this man gave me at my first birthday sober. And I remember one statement in it. And it said, if every thought's a prayer, what are you praying? That hit me really hard because, I don't know, if you crack my head open at any given moment, you'd probably want to go commit me to an insane asylum because it gets pretty crazy up here. And I remember reading this book called The Screwtape Letters, and it's my paraphrasing. It was a story about Satan writing back and forth to his demons and how these demons were trying to trip up Christians and make them stop being so devout in their religion and their activities. And there was this one guy, I don't remember his real name, but it was like Johnny Key Christian or whatever. And the demon wrote back to Satan saying, well, I can't get him to quit praying. He prays all the time. And Satan wrote back to him and said, well, just get him to worry about how he's praying, and then he won't really be praying. And that made an impact on me. And I decided that if I were ever going to have any kind of relationship with God, I understood that every day I get up and I pray and I ask Him to keep me sober and I thank Him at night. But if I were ever going to have any real relationship, it couldn't be steeped in dogma and religious bullshit. And if I had to be all put together to pray, if I had to hit my knees, if I had to do anything a certain way, I was screwed, because I know that if I don't have a relationship with my higher power, I'm not going to stay sober and I'm going to die. Because if I drink again, I know I will die. So I decided, and back then I smoked, that I would just sit out on the front porch and smoke and drink a cup of coffee and bullshit with God, just like I would bullshit with anybody else. And sometimes I would have what I called bitch sessions, because he was doing crap that I didn't like and I didn't understand. And so I just got to the point where I talked to God exactly the way I talk to anybody else. And sometimes there's 4,000 F-bombs in there because I don't understand what the hell he's doing. And he's not moving fast enough, he's moving too fast, he's doing stuff I don't like, whatever. But the most important thing is that I keep my contact, my line of communication open with God, or Jesus. To me, it's God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost. You call it whatever you want. I don't care. Don't judge me about mine. I won't judge you about yours. I just know what keeps me sober. So when I say I pray all the time, it's not that I'm just sitting around praying and chanting mantras and doing nothing. I'm constantly saying, God, is that okay? What do you think? Help me. And it's not like it's this big long prayer. It's just this dialogue that happens between me and my higher power all the time. And it's very deep inside of me. And if I didn't have that, I don't know what I would do. Especially not tonight. So I would rather, it's like with my kids, I would rather them sit down and bare their soul and be all jacked up and stupid and just share their thoughts with me and have a bitch session or whatever than to never talk to me. So tonight I'm so grateful that I have prayer, that I have this dialogue that goes on inside of me and my spirit between me and God. And sometimes it's not even words. Sometimes it's just sitting in His presence with my broken heart. 'Cause sometimes the words aren't necessary. And yeah, I pray all the time. And I'm not ashamed of it. And I will never apologize for it. Because sometimes, all the time, most of the time, it's the only thing that keeps me put together inside. It's definitely the one thing that has kept me sober since July 5th, 1986. I get up every morning and I say, God, keep me sober, please. And I thank Him at night. Am I perfect? Nope, not at all. Not at all. And I just don't drive myself crazy anymore about whether Christmas is really Jesus' birthday or not. To me, pretty much every day is Christmas then. That kind of crap don't matter to me anymore. What matters to me is that I have this relationship with a higher power that I know loves me no matter what. That's all that matters. And I do believe that when I pray, He hears me and He answers. Sometimes it's not an answer I want, but it always ends up better in the end anyways. So, anyways, I'm tired. It's been a long night and got a lot on my mind. And, you know, today's Christmas Eve. I'm not a Christmassy person necessarily. To my kids and grandkids and great-grandkids to be and my family, I love you guys. Merry Christmas.